Dow Diamond in Midland, Michigan is home of the Great Lakes Loons, the single-A affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and also hosts many events throughout the year. However, you may not know that it is also the home of the local radio station ESPN 100.9 FM. Programming manager and play-by-play broadcaster Brad Tunney, content coordinator and play-by-play broadcaster Blake Froling, and assistant GM of marketing and communications for the Great Lakes Loons, Matt DeVries, spoke to me about the station.
ESPN 100.9 FM is the only 24/7 sports station in the Great Lakes Bay region, so we broadcast sports from midnight to midnight, whether that be ESPN programming, local programming with shows like X's and Bros with Sean Belegian, The Huge Show with Bill Simonson, SVL basketball or football, which is our high school coverage, the Great Lakes Loons, Michigan State, Pistons.
Our studio is located here. This is where all of our shows and podcasts are originated from. This is where all of our Loons games are called from, and this is where our home base is for high school sports. Everyone always meets together at the studio, and then we all sprawl out across the region whenever we do football and basketball. So that's where the studio is located, and our tower is located in Pinconning. So that's obviously north of town. When you're in that car and you turn the dial to 100.9, it can reach pretty far north, not quite to Houghton Lake, not quite that far north, but definitely in some of those northern areas. And then it doesn't quite reach to Mount Pleasant. You reach the casino over there, and that's probably when you lose 100.9. And maybe when you're getting towards Frankenmuth and Birch Run is when you lose it on the south side. And we get out into the thumb pretty well. We cover the Saginaw Bay great, so if you're out on a boat and you want to listen to the station, that's great too. But a lot of people choose to find us outside of that listening area online on the website.
Thanks for tuning in to ESPN 100.9 FM on ESPN1009.com.
Not only does the station have content on air 24/7, they are also very active on social media.
We're joined by Luke Philpotts, joined by the hero of the night, Michael Mustin, joined by our player of the game tonight, Davison's Latrell Fordham. Well, most of the time, we're covering high school students, and what's the best way to reach high school students? Social media. So it is really important to us to have a good presence on Facebook and Twitter specifically, Instagram to some extent as well, because it's the best way for us to promote our products.
Social media is huge, especially in the 21st century. We live in 2019. You can't avoid it. People are on it for hours, sometimes hours every single day. You need to be there, and you need to provide content to those people.
If you're not always in the area, you can't always listen to 100.9 FM. You can check out our social media, see what we're doing, and everything on our website, our different podcast videos. It's the best way to reach the target audience directly and as quickly as possible. Highlights of games, even video highlights during games, that if people are listening along, they get to see that big touchdown play right away.
From a snow globe-like setting at Ortonville Brandon High School, welcome to our latest SVL preview. And tonight, we have the Davison Cardinals against the Utica Eisenhower Eagles.
The Great Lakes Loons are only a fraction of ESPN 100.9 FM's content. With a community so wrapped around local sports, high school athletics thrives on the station's airwaves.
We're not the only station in the area, or certainly in the state, that broadcasts high school games, but I think we do a good job, or a better job, of making each game feel like a big game. And we highlight the players and their achievements, I think, better than some radio stations. We're not just showing up to a school, calling the game, and leaving. All of the content throughout the week, hyping up matchups, hyping up players, giving them their credit, and trying to tell their stories on air to friends, family, and even people just tuning in, wanting to hear some high school football or basketball. So I think the great length that we go to for our coverage was something that I was surprised to see when I first got here, but I think we have all really embraced, and it's something so unique in the area that we've kind of cornered the market on, really.
Communities are separated: Midland, Bay City, Saginaw, the smaller communities, Pinconning, Sanford, Freeland, Auburn. So those communities a bit smaller and separated a little more with smaller schools, and the fact that a lot of their alumni stay in the community, send their kids to that school. The rivalries live a little deeper. The love, the passion for those schools live a little deeper. So I think because of that, the following, the want for local sports is a lot bigger in smaller communities. Even though the schools may be smaller, the communities may be smaller, I certainly think the passion for high school athletics is much bigger here than it is in other bigger areas of the state.
The station isn't contained to just live broadcasts of sporting events or regular ESPN radio. They also have the Off-Season Podcast, which airs Friday nights and is available online.
4 years ago now, in October, the baseball season had wrapped up, and we were just looking for something to do in the off-season to kill some time. So in its infancy, in the first couple months, the Off-Season Podcast was really a rogue show that had no roadmap, no railroad at all. We were all over the map talking about what or who knows what, and it really has evolved into something that I think really serves a purpose for the radio station. This is kind of our version of having a local sports talk show. It's once a week. It airs on Friday nights, and we talk about what everyone's talking about in the region. So whether we're talking about the big football game in the region, whether that's in Midland or outside of the SVL, we like to talk about that. We like to talk about Northwood Basketball on the show, but we also like to talk about the Big Four, the Big Six. So the Tigers, Lions, Red Wings, and Pistons, and also Michigan and Michigan State.
Since the station's inception in 2008, they've had some big moments on the air, and they've also won Michigan Association of Broadcasters Station of the Year back in 2017.
Grand Slam in the 6th inning. In the Grand Slam inning.
It was the Loons championship in 2016. September of 2016, their first ever Midwest League championship. I can remember being on the air, standing in this booth, looking down on the field at a champagne celebration, and everybody, all of the fans who stuck with us.
We're very passionate about the station. Myself specifically, I'm very proud of winning the Station of the Year in 2017. That's obviously a huge accomplishment for all of us. And so, that's always going to be something that I'll hold near and dear to my heart, that, we were able to become one of the best stations in the state of Michigan. And there's a lot of radio stations around. So to be honored with that award, that can never be taken away from us. And we know that we always strive to be the best. And the fact that we were the best one of those years is always something that we'll take with us.